What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Alright, we're coming back to Smashing Pumpkins. Yes, indeed. Smashing Pumpkins fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Mr. K, and Mr. K wants to see me react to this song by Smashing Pumpkins called XYU. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, hang on a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Alex Marvick, okay? And the video has 327,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. HQ, the Smashing... See, here we go again. Everyone keeps telling me they're just called Smashing Pumpkins, but here we have the Smashing Pumpkins.
What?
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Which one is it? You know? Come on, guys. Fan bases. Make up your minds. And whatever they're called, stick to it. It's not hard. It's either the Smashing Pumpkins or Smashing Pumpkins. I don't care. I honestly don't care which one it is, okay? It makes no difference to me. But if you guys are claiming to be fans, like diehard fans of the band, then you better put the correct name up. It's just, this looks terrible. It does. It's a misrepresentation. And I know everybody's right now going, you're making such a big deal over a 3-letter word. Yeah, because it's not correct. It's not the Rush. It's not the Kiss. It's not the Motorhead. It's Rush. It's Kiss. It's Motorhead. It's not hard. You know? I don't understand. I don't understand. There seems to be this big divide. You know, half the people say it's Smashing Pumpkins. Half the people say it's the Smashing Pumpkins. And like I said, I don't care. I don't care which one it is. But for God's sakes, be universal across the board. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Anyway. All right, let's do this. I give up, man. I just don't know.
All right, boy, let's do this.
We dedicate this song to Woody the Striker.
Ah, yes, those flat fives.
She saw a baby bride, and in the air it hung that she was the rain. And I said, I wanna bail you up, I wanna break you, I wanna get you up from one another. Another one can come to one another. No one should come between us. Still I was lonely, and she was by my side, my one and only. Knows that she could never hide. I couldn't feel her, and it was just not good, 'cause I was lonely. She gonna save you, 'cause we got mad.
Let's pause there while I have a chance. I've been waiting to pause for like the last bit, and I'm like, oh, I can't pause there, can't pause there. Now they're doing this now. It's been a while, but I can finally find a place to pause. I'm good. Okay. The energy and the drive of the song, I'm digging that. I'm digging the vibe. I'm digging the feel. I'm digging everything in that part as far as that part of the song goes. It's pushing forward. It's aggressive feeling. It's nice. I like it. Kind of has a little bit of a punk vibe to it, if I'm being honest. The combination of the legato note, you have this da da. You know, it's not cha 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 cha. It's not staccato. It's a legato eighth note feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's not that. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I like that. And then into the sustain. And on the sustains, nobody's doing anything other than the drummer, who's got a more, he took a deep crescendoed approach. He lowers down his volume a bit, plays a little easier on, hitting the heads a little easier, bringing it down so the vocals can come out more. And I like that. It has those definite punk feels. I was gonna say something else, and I totally forgot. Maybe it'll come back to me. Let's keep going for now. This is a little more staccato. That's what I was gonna talk about. One five and the 2. Okay. Big Accelerando.
Mary had a little lamb. Its face was white as snow, and everywhere the Mary went, I was shot to go. Now Mary's got a problem. Mary's not a stupid girl. Mary's got something. Shot. Mary does not forget. And this is how Mary's garden grows. And this is how Mary has her girl.
Okay.
And ghosts come in the middle of the night and go boo.
Might as well pause there. Okay, I remember what I was going to talk about. The riff, the main riff. We're in E, obviously, so E. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and then on 4, on the downbeat of 4, they're changing the note for just a half a beat before they go back to the E again. So on the first measure, it's up to the flat 5 before they go back to the E again. And then on the second measure, rather than go to the flat 5, they go to the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and flat 5, which is on the 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and they go to the 2 on the 4. Combines to a major third. Yeah, I guess I could see that, but it's in that dissonant mode though. And they both fit within the dissonance. I mean, you got the 2 and the flat 5, so it does fit. It's just an interesting notational selection. It not typically what you would hear. Like my okay, taking that same riff. Okay, I like the flat 5. Rather than going to the 2, my gut instinct would be from the flat 5. Back to the root, and then when you change the notes, rather than go to the 2, I would go to the flat 3. That's what I would do. That's my gut instinct. Now, going to the 2, does it work? It absolutely does work. It absolutely does, without question. It does sound good. I'm wondering, this is not a criticism. I'm not criticizing the choice at all. I'm just saying, for me personally, my gut says go to the flat 3 instead of the 2. And I'm curious what made them decide to go to the 2. I'm really curious. And like I said, I'm not criticizing. I'm not sitting here going, it was a bad decision. Not at all. It sounds good. I'm just curious how they came up with that. How did they come up with that equation? Because it works. It's just not, it's not the go-to. You know what I mean? It's not the thing that, it's not the hot route. It's like the third or fourth option. And I'm just really curious to know why they came up with that decision. Like I said, I got no issue with it. I got no problem with it. I'm curious to know how they, like it, when they were having their meeting on this, like, during the course of the songwriting process, I think we're going to go for the flat 5 back to the root, and then instead of going to the flat 3, which is what everybody else would do, let's do something different. Let's go to the 2 instead. Let's mess with everybody. That's kind of what it feels like. And like I said, I got no problem with it. I'm really curious to know how that conversation went. Let's flip a coin. Heads, we do the flat 3. Tails, we do the 2. Whoop, pop. That's tails. We're doing the 2. I mean, it could have been that. It could have been. I don't know. I'm really curious to know what it was. Anyway, let's get back into this.
And ghosts come in the middle of the night and go boo. In the eyes of my jackal, I say die!
Back up into the fast tempo again. Faster even.
There is no going back. This woman like the last.
Going faster.
We are meant to say she will never learn. She will never learn.
Back into the slow tempo again. We got another minute of this crap.
You kidding me?
Really? We got another minute of this crap? And yes, I'm sorry. I know there's going to be people who go, oh, he's expressing himself. It's his artistic genius. If this is artistic genius, I want nothing to do with it. Nothing. Nothing at all. This is crap at this point. This is absolute garbage. I was fine for the first 6 minutes. I was fine. I was enjoying everything I was hearing. I was perfectly cool until this happened. Okay, I know a lot of people are wondering about this. What about when Billy turned his back to the crowd? Because I have a huge issue when the lead singer turns his back to the crowd. You're absolutely right. I do have a big issue with that. But as I have said in the past, I have a big issue when the lead singer turns his back to the crowd for absolutely no reason. In this case, when he turned around, it was to put his guitar up against the guitar cabinets to get that feedback going that he was getting for his solo. I was okay with that. I have no problem with him turning his back to the crowd because there was a reason for it. There was a purpose behind it. He was doing something important for the purpose of the song. I get that, okay? I wasn't upset all about that. I was fine until I heard the drummer stop. The song is over. They hit that final exclamation point. People are walking off the stage, and now for the last 20 seconds or so, we've been subjected to nothing but abuse.
Hell yes.
Auditory abuse.
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
If this is going to go on for another minute, I'm going to be upset. Like, I'm already, okay, let me rephrase that, because being upset's a bit of an understatement. I'm already upset. Just for the last 20 seconds being wasted on this absolute garbage that is not needed, not necessary. And like I said, for all those people going, he's expressing himself. Yeah, he sure is, all right. Oh, yeah. I'm already upset after 20 seconds. If there's to be another minute, I may have a complete and utter emotional breakdown. I may. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to start chucking stuff. I'm going to start breaking stuff. It ain't going to be pretty. I may have to sit on my hands. I might have to. I might have to actually physically sit on my hands so I don't start grabbing stuff and chucking it across the room and smashing it, because this is upsetting. This is really, number one, it sounds horrible. It sounds like absolute and utter garbage. Number two, it's an absolute and utter complete waste of my time. 1 whole minute of this is 1 whole minute of my life I'll never get back. 1 more minute that I could have spent on another reaction. Instead, I'm being subjected to this garbage. This better not be a minute of the same stuff. It better change up, and it better change up fast. Applaud that. How in the hell can you people actually stand there and applaud that? What was so wonderful about that? I'm gonna stay. Yeah, I'm sitting on my hands right now. I really am, and it's a good thing I am. I'm gonna stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna stay here with my hands, underneath my legs. I'm just gonna stay here for a while until I calm down. Yeah, I think that might be best. I think that might be best for my studio, for my equipment. Yeah, I think that's a good call. While I sit here with my hands under my legs, I'm gonna get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and oh, Nelly, are we ever gonna talk about it? Well, there you go, folks. That was Smashing Pumpkins with XYU. This was a request from Mr. K. Oh, boy, there is. I'm trying. I am really trying my best to keep my anger in check, keep my rage in check, and it is not easy. It really isn't. Oh boy. I'm smiling right now. I am forcing myself to smile right now, because if I don't smile right now, it's gonna get ugly real quick. Oh man. You know what the shame is? Here's the real shame. Up until about the 7-minute mark, I was really enjoying myself. I really was. And then that last minute and a half came in. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's finish this up before I dwell any further on this. Let's get this over with. What do you say? Let's rip off that Band-Aid.
Okay, let's put an end to this pathetic hoedown.
Before I get my score, the score's probably going to raise some eyebrows, and some people are going to be wondering what in the heck, they're not going to understand why at first. I promise you, if you listen to everything I say, if you hear me out from start to finish, it's going to make a lot more sense. I promise you. Okay? All right, let's get started here. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.6. Yeah, 7.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, listen, like I said, the first 7 minutes, I was actually digging the song. I was okay with everything that was happening. At bare minimum, worst case scenario, I was okay with everything that was happening. I was okay with it. Even when he turned his back, even when Billy Corgan turned his back to the audience, I was okay with it. And here's why. I already explained why, but let me explain it again. I've said in the past, when I've criticized musicians, frontmen, guitar players, whatever the case may be, I've criticized them for turning their backs to the crowd for too long of a period of time. Now look, you're going to turn your back on the crowd eventually, 2 seconds here, 3 seconds there. I get it. I don't have a problem with that at all. It happens to everybody. But when you intentionally turn your back on the crowd for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever the case may be, that's when I start to have a problem with it. And the problem I have is this: there's no reason for it. I find that to be very disrespectful. When musicians and singers in the middle of the song, they turn their back to the crowd and they sing to the drummer or whatever, and they have their back to the crowd for like, seriously, 15, 20 seconds, that's when I get upset, because there's really no reason for it. I've also said, though, that if there's a reason for it, if there's a purpose behind it, then I have no problem with it. That was the case here. When Billy Corgan turned his back to the audience, it was so that he could go over to his guitar cabinets, he could get his guitar right up in front of the cabinet so he could get that feedback going, that controlled feedback. I have no problem with that. I don't. It was part of the solo. It was part of his playing. I get it. May not always be the biggest fan of it, but I understand it, and I'm fine with it. Because again, there's a reason for it. I had no problem with him turning his back to the crowd at all. the song as a whole, from start to finish, I dug it. I actually dug the song from the 1 second mark up until about the 7 minute mark. From the 1 second mark to the 7 minute mark, I was perfectly fine with the song. I liked what it was doing. I liked the chord it was in. Not the chord, I liked the key that it was in. We were in E. I liked that melodic progression that they had with the flat 5 and the 2. It's unusual. The 2 is a very unusual pick, but I'll take it because it worked and it sounded really good. Having the note changes on the downbeat of 4 instead of like on the upbeat of 4 is like a lead into the next measure. Interesting, especially considering the fact that they went back to the E again on the and of 4. So it kind of blended, and it was nice. I kind of liked that. It was a nice different way to do things. I think what really got me more than anything, what I really enjoyed it more than anything, was the changes in tempo. The controlled changes in tempo. Everything was planned. It wasn't like the drummer doesn't know how to keep a steady beat and he started accelerating and the rest of the band followed along. No, that wasn't it. Everybody knew it was going to happen and everybody increased their tempo together. There was never a point where it felt like the drummer was rushing and everybody else had to play catch up. Like some other drummers that we've heard on the channel. Not going to mention any names, but her name starts with
Meg. Meg. Meg.
who cannot keep a solid beat to save her life. No, that wasn't the case here. The drummer knew exactly what he was doing. Everybody knew what was going on, and everybody followed along exactly with him. Whether they were slowing down into that slower part, whether they sped up, you know, and then they went past where their starting point was, and they went even faster, and then they brought it back down again. But it was, every single time they did it, though, it was planned. It had reason. They all did it in unison, and as a result, it all sounded good. It sounded organized. It sounded tight. I got no problem with that at all. It sounded just fine. Billy Corgan's vocal performance on this, he had some really primal moments in there, which I really dug with his vocals. I know that people are going to be like, you really like the part where the band stopped playing and he went a cappella? Believe it or not, I kind of did, because it really kind of added to the attitude of what was happening within the song. I had no issue with it, none whatsoever. I will say there was one thing I wasn't the biggest fan of, the lead guitar player with that whammy pedal. Listen, I used to have one of those Digitech whammy pedals that, you could set it to whatever you wanted to do. You had a selector knob and you could set it anywhere from, a 1 octave going down to 2 octaves going up. I mean, that thing had a 3 octave range. It was crazy. And he clearly had it at the 2 octave high, and he had that thing pressed all the way down. So you get those really high-pitched squeals in the guitar. And look, I have no problem, again, with, soloists doing what they're going to do. And if you wanted to do that, like once or twice to make it something special, something that really stood out, okay, that's fine. That's one thing. But when you're doing it, like, every time you solo, it's like, okay, a little overkill. All right. Now, like I said, I had no problem with the majority of the song. From the time it started to about the 7-minute mark, this song, honestly, was up in the 8s, the high 8s. This was like 8.6, 8.7. I mean, this was up to that 7-minute mark. This was one of my favorite songs I've heard from Smashing Pumpkins so far. And then came that last minute and 33 seconds.
Turn it off. Turn it off!
I hated it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was no rhyme. There was no reason. It just elongated the song from a 6:50 to 7-minute long song to an 8.5-minute long song. A minute and a half of absolute, complete, and utter garbage. The song was over. The song was over. Drummer hit the final note. Bass player hit it with him. And they both, boom, hit that final beat, put down the sticks, took off the bass, walked off the stage, and it continued.
That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful to perform like that.
A minute and a half of my life gone that I will never get back. And I don't like having my time wasted, guys. I don't. It served absolutely no purpose other than to be offensive to the ears. There's nothing artistic about it. That it was an absolute and complete utter waste of time. And for those of you going, well, he was expressing himself, or he was expressing his artistic output, or he was demonstrating, you know, his feelings, his emotion. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. How can you do that when you don't even look? Listen, if he was doing that over his own guitar cabinet with controlled feedback, I could understand that. Maybe I could understand that. But he was doing it over a floor wedge where he has absolutely no control whatsoever over the feedback. That's all FOH. That has nothing to do with him. He has no control over what comes out of that floor wedge at that point. Trying to get feedback out of the guitar, he would have had much better success doing it with the guitar cabinet. But over a floor wedge? And he's laying the guitar on the floor wedge and rocking it back and forth like a teeter-totter. Just creating noise. God. I'm gonna say, this is gonna sound really mean. I was really hoping, because I saw where his hands were. He had one hand on the back of the body and another hand on the back of the neck. I wonder how many people were with me on this. I was so hoping the guitar neck would snap and it would be over. Yeah, good luck getting feedback now. Good luck expressing your creative, you know, juices now. Good luck with a snapped guitar neck. Good luck with that. Man, I was hoping that neck would snap. I really was. It would end maybe a little bit sooner. Even 10 seconds sooner would have helped. It's a shame because I was really enjoying the song up until, like I said, up until about the 7-minute mark. I was having a good time. I was digging the song. I was grooving to it. And I was seriously 8.6. I was really considering that score. So what I did was I took off 1/10 of a point for every 10 seconds that went by with that absolute and utter garbage, which lowered the score 0.9. I said, forget it. We're just gonna make it an even number, and because I'm upset, and we're gonna make it a full point lower. So yeah, we were at 8.6 up until about the 7-minute mark. And unfortunately, that last minute and a half absolutely ruined that 8.6 and brought it down to a 7.6. No, I'm not going to change my mind. There is absolutely nothing that anybody in the comments can say that is going to change my mind about that. I'm sorry. Do not waste your time. So 7.6, that is the exact score. Well, actually, I take that back. Be honest with you, I feel like after that garbage, I feel like putting it down in the 1s and 2s. But to be fair, I'm going to keep it at 7.6. So 7.6, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully, I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.